Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Happy Valentine's Day and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be breaking down the Dancer's Path that has just gone live in Raid Shadow Legends. What are the paths through? What rewards are in here? Is it worth it? How much will it cost you? All of that sort of stuff. We're going to figure it out together. Also, apologies. I think I have a cold or something. I'm a bit sniffly. So my bad. If I sneeze or sniffle in the video, I'm sorry in advance. But here we are. This is the whole path put together here in Photoshop. And a couple of things. I mean, let's touch on the bottom of it first, which is a bit more straightforward. Here is what I would term the luxury rewards. We got legendary books, red essence, 2 mythical books, a red chaos or 6-star, and of course, the 5-star perfect souls for Esme, the fusion, and Modo, her partner. And then we've got a nice frame. It's actually a very nice frame for 5,000 points down there. These are the luxury things, and they are shockingly going to be fairly expensive. Now, up here, this is where things get a little bit tricky for the more fusion-sided things, because we do have fragments for Esme the Dancer all throughout here. We've got 5 sets of them, one here, 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 and then one up here as well. But they are all on effectively entirely different paths. So if you want to get all of these fragments, it's going to be very expensive. You're going to have to do a lot. I will say that the side paths, you look at the rewards on the side paths, 4-star chickens, blah, 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 are kind of garbage. The stuff in the middle is okay. You've got 100 epic fragments, 100 legendary fragments, 100 big oils or extract, and 15 gray essence. The middle stuff is good, actually. The outside stuff is bad. Let's look at some paths. Let's go. So, the green path. This is what I would call your budget path through. This is coming in and grabbing 10 fragments. Remember, you can skip 15 fragments in this fusion. So you can skip these 15, and then you can max out the champion chase next weekend. Effectively treating this like a summon rush, and it actually works out to be very, very similar to a summon rush. That would be, to get all of those, more expensive perhaps than you would think, 33,500 points, which works out as 7.4 sacreds, or 44.7 void shards. Couple of things to bear in mind. One positive thing. Here's a good bit of news. Go away with your pop-up offers, because there is a Valentine's gift, which will give you a legendary tome, 3 mortal soul zones. It's actually quite nice, and 4,500 heart coins. This is great. I love this. This is really nice. So effectively, you get a 1 sacred shard discount, or the equivalent in void shard discount, which is pretty good. Which would bring it down to, more like 6.5 sacreds and whatever, 40 or so voids, something like that. That definitely helps, and it's not, I think, at that point, really any different from a summon rush, right? 7 sacreds is pretty much what we'd expect from a standard summon rush in the fusion. Basically what you're getting, but it does mean you're going to have to max out the next summon event, and there's a pretty good chance that next weekend is probably 2x sacreds, which is difficult. Sacreds are not great in 2x events. They're fine. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not great. Although, of course, with Champion Chase, you can use other fragment champions. You can use your permanent fusions, like fuse a bunch of Broadmaws. There's some tricks to it. But yeah, bear that in mind. So there we go. That's the green path. Now, we have next, which is decent value, the pink path. So here, you can see by coming down to these fragments on the side, there's these little 1,000 cost keys. We can get those keys, unlock the 2 key slot, and grab the 5 Esme fragments right here. This is not going to enable you to skip the champion chase, and it's pretty likely in the champion chase you will have 5 fragments low down and 10 fragments high up. So if you can only skip 10 fragments, no good. You'll have to get them all anyway. This, though, I think this one does mean if you missed, for example, the 5 fragments at the top of the dungeon divers, which was pretty rubbish, you could get this one instead. And this can let you, if you missed 5 fragments from the dungeon divers, here's an extra 5 that you could get, and it's not that expensive at all. If you want to skip any other event, here's 5 fragments. So that's worth considering. I also think I've drawn a very nice piece of art. I call this a Valentine's themed piece of art, because this is what my girlfriend will see later on. Oh my god. Artwork with nubkeks. Now, if you want to get all the fragments, it gets worse. So I forgot to put in the cost. I was having too much fun. The cost, this is an extra 5,000 points, so 38,500 or 8.6 sacreds, 51.3 voids. Again, remember you get that basically one sacred discount for free off of raid. So yeah, there you go. Now the teal path, this is okay. We're just gonna grab all the fragments, so we get all this stuff. Like I said, the stuff in here is actually fairly okay. It's not mind blowing, but it's good. 100 epic fragments, 100 legendary, the nice stuff. It's not too bad. And the cost for that is going to be an extra 38,000. So it's more expensive. It's basically the same expense again. In fact, more so, I would say, because you don't have the one sacred. You know, you only have the one free 4,500 coins from Plarium. So this will cost you a total of 76,500, which is 17 sacreds or 102 voids, or, you know, slightly under 100 voids, or 16 sacreds if you include the free coins. This is what my girlfriend will see when I jizz on her face. Oh my god, let's take this away quickly. Oh my lord. Okay. Red path. This is where it gets crazy expensive. So this path is fairly straightforward. We're just going straight down as cheap and as quick as we can to grab the 5-star souls. That's it. We're going to grab the 5-star souls. Now, I also figure you probably also want to grab the 5 fragments over here, because again, you can only skip 15 fragments. I think it'd be a little bit weird to grab 5-star souls for Esme and Modo, but then not get enough fragments to do the fusion. That would be a strange choice. So I'm going to assume you do this. Obviously, if you want to skip these 5 and you want to like buy the fragments in the shop, they often offer them to you. You can do that instead. If you're sort of like, I don't know, you're kind of like a whale if you're going for this, but if you're skipping these bits over here, you're sort of a cunning whale. It's quite an interesting strategy. I kind of respect it, actually, to be honest. This gets very expensive, 144,500 points, which is 32 sacred, 192.7 voids. Now, interestingly enough, for me, I actually would have enough sacreds, and these are not paid for. These are just saved up. 34. I could do this. Will I do it? No. We'll talk about more of that at the end, but just note that this red path is extremely expensive, but you do get the 5-star souls for each. And then finally, a blue path. I probably should have made this the red path because it's the mythical skill tome. But this is just coming down and grabbing the mythical skill tomes. And you could, of course, adjust this if you wish and just grab one of them, or you could grab legendary tomes instead. This actually is not too terrible. 58,000. So 13 sacreds, or 77 voids. The voids feels pretty rough. But those sacreds for a couple of mythical skill tomes for a very late game player that's skipping the fusion. I mean, hell, if you like some of the champion, here's the thing: if you are pulling for the progressive chance event, again, if you're like probably more so a bit of a whale, but or you're very late game, but you're not doing the fusion. The point of this blue path is mostly to say that actually there's pretty good rewards down here. This line of rewards right here are pretty good. They're pretty good, let's be real. And you could grab like any of these. They're all pretty good. You could grab any of them for a relatively small cost. So if you're pulling a few shards for fun, chasing the progressive chance, there is stuff for you to get, is the point. There is stuff for you to get. But this middle path, you basically have to go for the fusion pretty much, I would say. And there we go. Those are all of the paths. So yes, we've got beautiful artwork here today. Fantastic. There we go. Now we know what's going on. So yeah, I think most players going for the fusion should do the green path. Now, here's the thing. If it is 2x sacreds, probably like 11 sacreds. I would say 2x sacreds is horrible. If that is the champion chase, you know, you're looking at least 10 sacreds for sure to get the champion chase done. So I really don't think there's actually all that much difference between doing the green path and just grabbing all of the fragments, getting everything. I don't think there's much difference, to be completely honest. I think it actually comes out very similar. So yeah, you're not gaining anything by doing it early, but you're probably not losing much either. There is a possibility they could do like 2x Ancients for the champion chase instead, which would be way better than 2x Sacreds or doing this at Sacred Shards. But yeah, that's something for you to consider with your own shard count. I'm guessing the champion chase is probably 2x Sacreds, and yeah, you probably need about 10. Of course, like I said, if you've got fragment champions saved up, login champions, Broadmaw fusions, if you got ways to cheese champion chase, can make it a heck of a lot cheaper. The red path, to me, getting the souls is extremely expensive. Here's the thing. This can be worth it if the champions are going to make a huge difference to your account. For me, I don't think Esme and Moto are good enough to exhaust all these sacreds. I could do it, but I'm not going to do it. I don't think they're strong enough for my account for that to make sense. And I think most likely if you have 30 something sacreds, for a lot of players, it's not going to be worth it. Now, if you're like a Kraken, if you don't, you say it's really cost versus benefit. And if you are saying the cost of 30 sacreds is nothing to me, I'm a Saudi oil prince or something, right? Great, go for it. Why the hell not? Obviously, you should. In that case, 5-star souls are really good. 5-star souls are phenomenal. You might never see a 5-star soul again, but it's just, are these champions worth it? Bit questionable. Oh, I suppose I should also put in, probably, if you're going for the red path, sure, heck, why not throw another sacred at it and get the portrait frame? Why not? You might as well. If you were getting only one of the 5-star souls, I would say the Modo soul is probably more important. I think it's more important on damage. But then again, Modo is not guaranteed like she is, which is interesting. That's actually something worth mentioning as well. Between fusions, we usually have Titan events. Very commonly, between fusions, they do events where you can get the souls for the fusion. This is happening mid-fusion, which means what's going to happen between this fusion and the next fusion. We really have no idea. They could do anything. I think it might be their anniversary, the Plarium anniversary. So I'd expect some anniversary events, most likely. And they could do really anything there. So bear that in mind. I think it is the Plarium anniversary coming up. So there's going to be some anniversary events. They're usually, let's be honest, nothing special. It's usually just the same stuff as always, but with some anniversary artwork splattered across it. So don't be expecting much. But that is what is, I think, likely to come. So yeah, that's sort of where we're at. So for me, I'm still a little undecided. I'm going to think about it. I'm either going to go for green or teal. That's for me. It's my favorite artwork here. It's going to be one of these, either just grabbing all the fragments and having it done and forging a couple of relics along the way, or just doing the green and doing champion chase next weekend. I haven't fully decided, honestly. I'll think about it, but that's sort of where I'm at. And for me, I personally, I'm not interested in the red, even though I could do it. I'm not interested in the 5-star souls for these champions, mostly because I have a lot of very good champions for Arena already. I don't think they're going to massively help me. I don't think I will need them for the new faction war content. If they are relevant there, I think I can do just fine without them. I don't need Esme for Hydra. I've got very good block buff champions, etc. So, and very good weekend champions now as well. So I don't feel like they matter to me. They might matter to you. 5-star souls are really good, but it is hella expensive. Guys, there we go. Let me know what you think about this path. What are you going to do? And I will say, I appreciate that free gift, though. That free gift is pretty cool. That's a pretty cool move. And I'm excited to see how many people are going to have this portrait frame when I go into live arena, like tomorrow. All right, guys. See you next time. Goodbye.